We were called in for this case to do an analysis and to figure out a set of information that was being extracted from systems. This case was a labor dispute, and it was a employment dispute related to fast food workers. These folks were, low-income employees. They were working at these various chains, and they were, clocking out on break. But the problem was the labor rate when they were coming back to clock back in was too high, and so the managers of the company were saying, "Don't clock in, don't check back in." But also they were telling these employees not to leave. And so one of these situations was the people, they couldn't leave, but they also were not working, and so they were ultimately suing their employer for loss of wages during the time where they were off the clock but actually still there. And one of the things that was interesting was we were going through and we were working with the economists to calculate the labor rates. We were looking at the documents themselves in the system to try to figure out was this actually a real thing. But we're also actually extracting information from people's social media sites. These were folks who were individuals were posting on their Facebook page of them standing around. They were posting information on their Twitter page about how they were forced to just kind of be there and not be able to leave. And they were able to set the time and date stamps, and they were able to basically establish their locations and prove and help prove the labor rate situation, because we were looking at not only when they were clocking in and out, but we're also looking at the times that they were being told to stand around. We were looking into the information as these people were doing their their shift. We were looking at the times that they were off the clock, and so it was helpful because there weren't computers, there weren't all these different sources of documents, but the actual social media sites became very key pieces of data for us to be able to go in and look at these sources and be able to establish a chain, be able to establish the time and date when these folks were off the clock, in between when they were actually clocked out and when they were being able to go back, because the folks were actually posting online and what have you. And so these social media posts were actually becoming very critical to the matter itself, because they established the time frame which with this fraud claimed to have been occurred.